Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review for the 2-episode special this weekend from One Piece, the Sanji vs. Luffy special episodes 807 and 808, and oh boy was I expecting this to be a positive review, and oh boy was I ever so wrong. It had good parts, it had a lot of parts that were really good, hidden among all of the breaks and flashbacks. But it was very much mostly breaks and flashbacks. We got for it to be a 1 hour special, we got actually very little content, like less content than a usual one singular episode. So yeah, let's go in and talk about it, I guess, part by part. And for the new opening, I already did a reaction and discussion video to it, video on just it by itself. And one thing I thought of later on that I didn't put in there, but I commented down in the comments on that video, was one thing I think could make the opening better is during the main action of the opening, where they're showing all these different action shots, there's one shot of just Carrot and Chopper eating cake. Instead of that, I think they could have used like Carrot going in for an attack on Brûlé or something. I think that would have derailed the action less, so it's just another action shot keeping up with the action shots. Of course, since it is action, I think it would have looked better. Yeah, I think that would have been a better shot to use. And yeah, I guess that's about it. But either way, starting with 807, let's discuss this episode first for a little bit. Going into it, I was so excited for this. More excited for these 2 episodes than any in a while, just because it'd been hyped up as the Luffy vs. Sanji special. Luffy vs. Sanji in the manga was really a great chapter, or a couple of chapters. I don't remember if it was 1 or 2. At least what happened here, I think, was only around 1 and maybe a couple pages. But either way. So we start out with Baratie flashbacks, the takedown of Don Krieg again. That didn't bother me much, it wasn't long. Then Chopper reports into Nami through the mirror shard, and that was a funny scene. That was a good scene. Like, the few original scenes we got were really well done. Like, the animation was up there, and I thought it was hilarious the way they would try to talk and then get cut off by just them screaming. I thought it was great. So Brûlé pulls Randolph, the Crane, and the Gator into the mirror world. Then we have some flashbacks to Capone and to Cracker, and the flashbacks are focusing on Sanji leaving and maybe not coming back to them. So then Luffy heals up because he's eaten all of that food. They find Sanji's carriage. Sanji kicks Luffy off of it. He says exactly what Cracker said he would, and then the majority of the episode was flashbacks. And okay, flashbacks wouldn't be bad if, say, the Baratie flashbacks were good. I was totally fine with those because they were pertinent and, like, they referred to Luffy and Sanji's relationship, which was the main idea and the main focus of the episode, or 2 episodes. So because it, like, sort of built into and reminded us more, showed us more about their relationship, it was good. It was good to have the Baratie flashbacks. But to have like a good chunk of the episode be Sanji's childhood flashbacks again, A, that doesn't really have anything to do with the Luffy-Sanji relationship right now, and B, the most important thing, we just saw those like 2 or 3 episodes ago for the first time. It's not like anything that happened a long time ago or that we didn't fully know yet that's a surprise to us. It was just filler. It was just a waste of time. We saw it like 2 or 3 episodes ago. So yeah, the Sanji childhood flashbacks, there was no need for it. It did not add anything to the episode. So I thought the few new scenes we got, and that's all of 807, I thought the few new scenes in there, like the Chopper and Carrot one, were good, but the flashbacks were just really bad because we had already seen them. Like I said, if they added something like the Baratie ones, it was fine, but most of it didn't, and the way they jumped around, in my opinion, too much, it kind of made it feel like an unorganized mess. Like they had no idea what they were doing and they were just throwing those flashbacks back in there again, not even in the entirety, of course, to pad for time. So yeah, it was rough. It was rough. I'm giving it 5 flashbacks out of 10 for 807. And even that, I think, may be a little bit generous. 5 out of 10 just because the few new scenes there were actually good. And even the Baratie flashbacks, I had no objection to them at all. Then comes 808, which was better because there were less flashbacks, at least after the first good a third of the episode, maybe. But once we got into the good stuff, it was good, but I think already I had been flashbacked to death so much in 807 and for the first third of 108, or 807 and for the first third of 808, that by the time we got to the good stuff, I was already just kind of like done. And every time they even teased going into another flashback, I was just like, oh, please no, this is torture. And you shouldn't think that while watching something, oh, please no, don't do this, this is torture. But at the point to where I had sat through 807 and saw the Sanji childhood flashbacks, which, in my opinion, Sanji kind of has one of the weaker backstories among Straw Hats. So, like, to watch through all of that again after just seeing it a few episodes ago, and then having to go through more of it, I could not. I was just, by the time I started and got a couple minutes into 808, I was just like, please, for the love of God, just no more flashbacks, please. Then, what else? So, yeah, it took until, I think, I wrote down 9 minutes into the episode before we started getting into actual new content. Then Sanji nails Luffy with a kick, his tooth is knocked out, Sanji continually beats him, and it was great. The OST was amazing. One thing I noticed, though, as they kept interrupting the actual action of the episode, there were, you know how normally in an episode we have the opening, then there's usually a commercial break around there, then we have the first part of the episode, commercial break, second part. And the things that surround the commercials and sort of signify the start and end of the parts of the episode are the little animations they have with the bounty posters. Well, we had those instead of once per episode, 3 times per episode at least in each of these, and it was, again, too much. It would interrupt and cut into actual important things when we finally got into them, and it made it seem a bit jumbled and unorganized. So yeah, just in general, not a good thing thrown in there. Pretty ridiculous, even. So then Sanji puts Luffy down with the last attack, the Conquisere. Nami slaps him. It was all really, really good. Luffy had a great speech, and I loved the part at the end with the flashbacks, the montage, really, and the song. I believe it was one of the end. Like, I got the nostalgia feeling. I was like, I know I've heard this. Is it one of the endings? I believe it was one of the endings, but I don't know which one. It's been so long since One Piece had endings. Yeah, I guess that was it for what happened in the episode. So the actual content, the actual Luffy speech, Luffy versus Sanji, that was really great. It looked really good. The animation was up, the voice acting was great, the OST was really on fire. But that was hidden among breaks and flashbacks. There were just way too many. Even in this episode, the first 9 minutes or so being things we had already seen was too much. Way too much. This entire special should have been 1 episode. No flashbacks, except maybe if you wanted to throw in a short Baratie flashback here and there, I'd be okay with that. But I guarantee if you cut the flashbacks out of the 2 of these episodes and put the new original content in, it would be about 1 episode's length. So this really should have been 1 episode, and what I was expecting it to be is all the new content we saw here, I was expecting to be maybe like 807, and then 808 to be the stuff we see in the promo where this army's coming to get revenge. I was thinking that was going to be the 2-episode special, it was all going to be interconnected, and then this was a bit of a jumbled mess. I don't think my expectations were too high, because my expectations were basically just adapting the next few chapters into these 2 episodes, or the next 2 chapters following last week's episode into 2 episodes, like a normal kind of shonen anime. So I wasn't expecting anything super incredible, just good, and what I got was a bit of a jumbled mess. Even the good parts, like I said, they were so jumbled up with all the flashbacks and breaks that, like, I just don't understand how Toei could even mess this up. Like, it seemed so simple and easy to make this into an episode. Like, what you should do, how you should organize it, it seemed very, very easy, and Toei somehow messed that up. I have to eat my words, because I had said so many times I think the anime's on an upswing and things are getting better, and then Toei pulls this, 1,000 commercials and 1,000 flashbacks. I Don't understand it. I really don't get it. So yeah, it was just ridiculous. I'm really disappointed. Way too many flashbacks. And for episode 808, I'm gonna be super generous and give it 7.5 concasseurs out of 10. And the reason I'm doing that is because though my first reactions is to be disappointed, and though I think by the time I watched 807 I was just exhausted from sitting through flashbacks that we had just seen, I think after being exhausted from that, I wasn't as into 808, but I think if I went back and rewatched 808 by itself without 807, I think I would like it a lot more, because like I said, the Luffy versus Sanji stuff, Luffy's speech, it was all very, very good. OST, animation, voice acting, all great. So really, it was good. It was really good if you don't count the majority of it, which was stuff we had already seen. So yeah, 8 out of 10 for the first episode, 807, and 7.5 for 808. Man, I'm pretty disappointed. But yeah, that's where I'm left with this one. So either way, if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this set of episodes and what you thought of my thoughts on them. Subscribe for more One Piece, both anime and manga, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. I'll try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel. And if you want a link to our Discord, ask and I'll give you one. That's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.